Okay, so I've had this RCA TV antenna for a while, or for a couple months now. Well, I dropped it and it cracked, and then I got fed up with it and had enough. This is what's on the inside. You can see how finely crafted this Chinese piece of crap is. Here's the fine-tune control. That's why I liked it. I bought it at one of those discounts, one of those places that buys up like closeouts. I think it was called Ollie's, or yeah, I think it was Ollie's Bargain Outlet or some other discount store. You can see it has a switch there. Yeah, and it had lead weights in the bottom, so it would feel substantial. That's just lovely. And here's the cheap, crappy cable that came off of it. I'll save that and put it in my junk pile. But besides that, I had this power supply that came out of storage. This was the board. It had like a million freaking power outlets. It was a APC, I think. There's a bunch of little transistors and ICs and stuff and fuses. Now, unfortunately, these aren't too much good for capacitors, but maybe these two blue disc ones right here. But this thing was insanely heavy. One, the battery that's ginormous. Two, this ginormous transformer. There's my hand. About as bigger than my hand. And also, the Sony DVD player I had. It was the more basic model out of one I had, or out of one. I could technically fix this if I had another drive, but I swapped this drive from another. It was one just like this. It was nicer. It was a lot more featured. And I put it in my rear projection setup, and yeah, that's my new TV. So I'll demonstrate that in a little bit, but let's take out this circuit board here. And back to this power supply or backup battery thing. This was the cable that was going to the battery. It's thick. I'll put that in my junk box. Well, the darn camera won't focus because it doesn't have super macro or whatever. But this is the power supply board out of the DVD player. I'm gonna keep it. And all these little low voltage capacitors are probably not really good for me. What this had was video out 1 and 2, audio outputs, digital for coax or the Toslink or optical cable, and it had the component. That's a fat little capacitor right there. It's thin or thick and just little. Okay, on to the next thing, and the rest of this can go in the garbage. It was a nicer model. Well, I'll show you my TV now. Now, this isn't the original remote for it, but we cleaned out my late uncle's storage unit, and he had one of these TVs, not like this one, but it was a Mitsubishi. So I'm like, And then I've always wanted one of these TVs, and this one we kind of when we moved it kind of dragged on the sidewalk, so some of the particle board cabinets kind of messed up, which sucks. But it's a 55-inch. I only got it for $10. Hopefully let's hope and pray that it lasts me many years. But this remote powers it on. But I had it on a bunch of different remotes for all the entertainment, but I was able to kind of get it down to one remote. Like I got, but this is for the VCR. You still need this remote to cycle through the sources, but we got the stereo receiver here. This is the VC or DVD player that I transferred the drive into, and it works. DVD, because this one's hooked up to the sound system. Blu-ray player and VCR and converter box. but it has a pretty good picture. I've gotten used to it. And you have to view it at a certain angle. It looks a lot better in real life, but yeah, there you go. Okay, I don't know how well you can see it, but I picked up this Sansui from 2011 up at the flea market last weekend. I'm probably going to give this to somebody I know who's going off to college that said they're not going to bring their TV, their main TV, because it's too big. And I offered them a TV like this, and I told them you might get called trash, or not trash, but you might get picked on for having one, because most people nowadays wouldn't be caught dead with one of these in their home. And most kids nowadays would rather have their arm chopped off than look at one of these, but honestly, I'd rather keep my arm and watch one of these. And then if I gave, because the person wanted one, or didn't mind having a little one, but because they didn't want a big one, and they didn't want a big TV, so I'm like, I'll just give you a little flat screen, so you don't have to use any converter boxes, but you'll still have to use an antenna, because this is digital. I'll probably give them this one, or I have the little Dynex over there that has a DVD player in it. So yeah. And I picked these up at this thrift store, and these two at the flea market, along with that little Sansui TV. This one's a progressive scan Toshiba DVD player. This one's a Go Video that it's basically a Zenith, a rebadged Zenith. I got it because it has a TV tuner, but I wanted to get one that was just a standalone VCR, and then I got that Sony. I got this little Magnavox, very basic DVD player, which is nice. Has virtual sound spatializer. It's from 2007. It only has composite and has a digital out, or coaxial out, and a S video. That's about it.